Greetings, friends. I was reflecting upon my daily life, the daily routine I go through, and seeing if there was any deeper lessons there. And I sometimes play the role of the fool. Now, the word fool may be used in different ways. I'm using it the way it may have been understood. Someone who acts outside normal social conventions. So it doesn't mean necessarily that you lose your mind, but you might seem to be doing something which the herd is not doing, and therefore you are perhaps suspicious. It's natural that the fool should be looked down upon. Well, I'm not saying it's good, but it's understandable that the fool would be looked down upon because he's not afraid to go down into the ground. There is a time to look at your phone. There is a time to chat. I say there is also a time to do none of these things. There's a time for nothing. There's a time to stop. There's a time to rest. And yes, people like to rest. People can take naps in their chairs on a piece of cardboard, but they stay in that box, that industrial box, that little mechanical city all day long. They stay inside and they'll only go outside if they want to smoke a cigarette. Otherwise, you stay inside. You don't have to. There's no chains holding you in at break time, at lunchtime. There's no invisible cordon around your ankle preventing you from leaving. And yet people stay, unless maybe to drive to the Tim Hortons and get some awful coffee and donuts. Approaching noon, I leave the building and I walk towards the main road about 5 or 6 minutes, crossing the busy road where I approach a forest and a field, a large space. On a sunny afternoon in early April, I trudge across the grassy knoll, now out of view of the cars and of anyone who might see me, and lay down on the grass, which in the coming months would be a place that would eat me alive with insects, but now is trodden down by the winter snow and the general death of winter, allowing me a comfortable, clean, soft, dry bed on which I sprawl, crime scene pose, arms out, legs spread out, fully stretched, with the sun bearing down on me at the high noon hour. There is only one other time of the day of such peace, which is the midnight hour. The other hour of peace is 12:30 p.m. when the sun is at its highest point. I don't know why this is, but I think anyone who has tried this out will agree with me. You will be able to take the best nap ever, the best daytime nap, if it's when the sun is at its high point, bearing down on you. I wear the sunscreen, of course. Sometimes I cover my face with a hat and I'm sprawled, and for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, perhaps 15 minutes, there is nothing but the sound of the wind, the feel of the high sun bearing down on me, having disappeared for all these months when I was cooped inside the building. Now the blue sky, perhaps the occasional crow or hawk. The sound of the crow is very distinct and characteristic of the spirit of this region. The wind in the branches about to bear the leaves that will come, an exposure to the elements that the immigrant does not seek, that the average person in the city does not know about, does not care about, does not think about. It is not something that there is any clear reason to do. And yet it is actually the most sane, grounding thing you can do, to come into contact with the ground, to lower yourself, to go down, to escape the box, to escape the concrete. In fact, you'll find there are many opportunities, even in a big city, to do this, but people are programmed not to think about it, not to know it, not to experience it, not to consider the option, not to consider what that might mean, not to think of what your soul really is and what it seeks. You would rather listen to some loud AI entertainment video. The greatest peace comes at the high noon hour, after having worked 5 hours already in the factory, knowing that more than half the day is done, knowing that some of the day is still to come, and yet having the peace of knowing that you are accomplishing your task and now have a rightful and justified time to rest, if only for a short stint, such peace, such silence. No one will choose this moment but the fool, because I am down in the grass, perhaps my boots might get muddy. There is a time to look at your phone, there is a time to chat, there is a time to play silly games, there is a time to groom yourself and do your chores, and there is a time for nothing. There is a time to relax and experience creation. There is a time for peace, but peace is madness, and the fool is at peace, and therefore he is humble, and therefore there must be something wrong with him. Who's the fool? Who are the insane people? The fool finds gold that others cannot see.